Have you ever wondered how a red heifer might stir up global politics and religious tension? Picture this: the Israeli government, in association with Temple Mount activists and the evangelical organization Bona Israel, is partaking in a fascinating project, the Red Heifer Project. This initiative, steeped in religious significance, aims to restore the third temple at the Al-Aqsa compound. It's a move that has the potential to change the status quo and ignite geopolitical and religious debates. This endeavor, once considered fringe, has now taken center stage with the Israeli government's involvement. Before we delve deeper, it's crucial to understand the historical context. Our story begins in 1967, when a remarkable shift in status quo took place. After the Six-Day War, non-Muslims were permitted to visit the Al-Aqsa Mosque, a significant Islamic holy site, but were not allowed to engage in prayer. This marked the beginning of a series of changes that have been influencing the narrative till date. The next piece of this historical puzzle is the Jewish law about the ashes of a red heifer. According to Jewish tradition, the ashes of a red heifer, a young female cow, must be scattered across Haram al-Sharif, the noble sanctuary, before Jews can ascend it and rebuild the third temple. You might wonder, where does this third temple fit into the picture? The third temple is a significant concept in Jewish tradition. It represents the final temple prophesied to be rebuilt on Mount Moriah in Jerusalem, following the destruction of the first and second temples. This temple is not just a building, it symbolizes the restoration of a sacred space for divine worship and a return to a more perfect state of affairs. But why a red heifer? The red heifer is considered pure and without blemish, making it a perfect sacrificial candidate in this context. Its ashes, once scattered, are believed to cleanse people and places from ritual impurity, thus preparing the ground for the construction of the third temple. However, the hunt for a red heifer was long deemed a fringe initiative, mostly propagated by Temple Mount activists. But as we will see, this once peripheral pursuit has now taken center stage, with the Israeli government joining the quest. So here we are, standing at the crossroads of history, religion, and politics. The stage is set with a red heifer, an ancient prophecy, and a government willing to challenge the status quo. With this historical backdrop in mind, the recent developments become even more significant. Now, let's turn our attention to the Israeli government's role in this unfolding narrative. In this tale of ancient rituals and modern politics, the Israeli government emerges as a key player, working in concert with religious and activist groups to facilitate the Red Heifer Project. The government's involvement is manifest in its assistance to the Temple Institute and Bona Israel, both of which are deeply invested in the project. The Israeli authorities helped this duo import 5 cows from the United States last year, a move that not only defied standard regulations, but also circumvented a prohibition on live cattle imports. This act is indicative of the government's commitment to the project and the lengths it is willing to go to ensure its success. The Ministry of Agriculture in particular played a pivotal role, allegedly assisting in the bypassing of these regulations. In a press release, both Bona Israel and the Temple Institute claimed they received explicit permission to import the cows through the Ministry of Agriculture, but the government's involvement doesn't end there. The Ministry of Jerusalem Affairs and Heritage is deeply entwined in the project as well. Its Director General, Netanel Isaac, revealed at a welcome ceremony for the cows in September 2022 that his agency has been funding the development of the Mount of Olives area. This is the very location where Temple Mount activists plan to initiate the Red Heifer ritual sacrifice. In addition to providing financial support, the ministry is involved in the logistical aspects of the project. It has helped in transferring the cows to a visitor center and farm created specifically for the Red Heifer project at the Tel Shiloh archaeological site in the occupied West Bank. The cows are currently being housed at a kibbutz in the Jordan Valley, with one cow reportedly already at an Israeli settlement research center. These developments underscore the Israeli government's active role in this endeavor. The Israeli government's involvement has undoubtedly added a new layer of complexity to this issue. Who are the key players in this project, and what are their ultimate goals? Let's delve into that. At the forefront of this endeavor, we have the Temple Institute, a Temple Mount activist group that has been instrumental in driving this project forward. Alongside them is Bona Israel, an evangelical organization that has been deeply involved in the importation and care of the red heifer candidates. Notable figures within these organizations include Byron Stinson and Zachi Mamo. Stinson, who is affiliated with Bona Israel, played a pivotal role in raising the cattle and bringing them to Tel Aviv. He's also the founder of the Father's House Foundation, a US charity that organizes trips to Israel. Stinson likens the red heifer to a crucial component needed to make the Third Temple work as it's supposed to. On the other hand, we have Zachi Mamo, the leader of Reshit, an Israeli settler group which supports Bona Israel. Mamo is currently collaborating with the Jerusalem Affairs Ministry on the Northern Trail project, a tourist route highlighting settler homes and Jewish historical sites. These key figures and their organizations share a common goal: to rebuild the Third Temple, a monumental task that they believe is rooted in prophecy. The red heifer, in their view, is a critical piece of this religious puzzle. These key players, backed by government support and funding, are determined to see their religious prophecies come to fruition. So, what does all this mean for the future of the Al-Aqsa compound and the broader region? The implications of the Red Heifer project are far-reaching and may have a profound impact on the delicate balance of power in the region. The increased involvement of the Israeli government in this initiative could potentially lead to heightened tensions, not only at the Al-Aqsa compound, but also in the broader Middle East. Moreover, there's the looming threat of a potential erasure of Palestinian identity, as the project seeks to highlight settler homes and Jewish historical sites, while downplaying or even eradicating markers of Palestinian heritage. It's also worth noting the role that US-based, tax-exempt non-profits are playing in funding this project. These entities are essentially facilitating a project that could have significant geopolitical implications, raising questions about their responsibilities and the ethical dimensions of their involvement. As we keep an eye on the developments of the Red Heifer project, the question remains: at what cost will these religious prophecies be fulfilled?